Okay, next project. Here we go. We got a giant roll around battery charger. This thing is beat. I mean beat. Okay. There isn't much left of it by the looks of it, but it is what it is. It was free. So I got the top cover off and the handle. Okay, so I got the handle off and the top cover so I could see inside of it. We're going to go ahead and take a look inside, and I'm going to rebuild it. Alright, I think there's usable parts on here. The meters seem to be good, and nice thing is it does 6 volt or 12 volt. So this would be a nice addition. Here we go. Let's take a look inside. Okay, here's a good look inside. It's pretty rough. Pretty rough. See if I can zoom in to the goings on in there. That fan is locked up tight. Of course, it's pretty rusty. It's no wonder. But everything else seems to be in good shape. I ran a meter on the switches, so they seem to be alright. And the meters, like I said, seem to be okay. There's contact between this thermal fuse. It's 110 amp thermal fuse. So, pretty cool. Let's see what I can do with it. Okay, I'm going to take the foot and the axle off, get that out of the way so I can lay it flat on my table here. Nice. We'll get the axle off and I can set it up straight, get the sides off, go from there. Okay. There you go. A little bit of crud. But it's just crud. Needs a little cleaning, painting. You'll never know it was rusted like that. Well, maybe you will. Okay, there's the inside. There's a pile of crap in there. That's a pile. Alright, we'll get it. But see, that doesn't want to turn. That's turning on the shaft, I think. That little bit. But we'll tear it apart. I'll bet you I can get that freed up. I might have to replace it. We'll see. Okay, still tearing it apart. I got the switches out. I looked up a similar charger that only has a 200 amp boost for 12 volt. It doesn't have these meters, it doesn't have the 6 volt test. Okay, it just has a timer and a volt setting, and it's $389 brand new. So it's worth it to mess around with it. I'll keep working. There's rivets in the bottom of this. I'm gonna drill them out. I gotta get this off of here. That's one. Oh, there we go. I was already through it. Now you can more easily see what's in there. A big mess. But nothing burned up. I think this will work. You can see the back of this thermal switch. Okay. It looks like 110 amp is what it's set for, and it's a snap-on, snap-off contact. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It self-resets. I'm marking everything real good so that I know how to hook it back. So I got to take this whole back off, which means I have to drill out this rivet for the ground and put a bolt in it later. But there you go. About ready to take the back off. I got to take this heatsink loose with the main diodes in it. So get that all off of there. We can start cleaning and start painting. Got to try to get some of the loose stuff off. Then I'll sand it a bit. Can be fun, huh? It'll work. Okay, time for a little next step. See what we can do. You get the idea. I'm going to continue on, continuing on. Okay, got all the panels cleaned with a wire brush, inside and out. No flakes anyway. Should do the job. Not trying to restore it, just trying to make it useful and decent looking. Make it last for a little while, get some paint on it. Well, there are my panels painted anyway. Doesn't look too bad. I think it'll be just fine. That's right. I ran out of red. That'll do. That'll do. Well, there you go. Getting ready. Let them cool off. They've been sitting in the sun a couple hours. So they're nice and toasty warm. Paint's dry. And I'm fixing a bad wheel. No sense messing around with anything else. I'll just fix this one and be done with it. Keep on moving on. Okay, during the repair of this wheel, I decided to go ahead and put 3/8 flat washers in. There's one in the bottom Okay, and there's one here in this end of it. So there's one down in there. So theoretically, that'll give it a nice piece of metal to wear on the actual axle. That should work. It'll be close to center. I don't know. Might be a little bit off. We'll find out, huh? If it wobbles, it wobbles. Okay, let me show you my secret tips for fixing these old meters. If you remember, that was difficult to see through, and I popped the plastic out and polished it with some polish, just metal polish. Did it by hand with a paper towel. Now here, these have little clips in them, and just push them upwards, and this thing should just pop right out. Okay, so once you have that out, you just pull a little bit on this right here, and the plastic will push right out. Now I got a fingerprint on it. I got to put it back on after wiping it. But like I said, I just polished it up with some metal polish. Now the red, or in this case orange, was all sun beaten. So I just used this, and it kind of looks red. You wouldn't have known. I didn't tell you. That was sun beat. That was sun beat. This was all almost white, except for the bottom end of it. I just used an orange marker on it. Keep it out of the sun, it'll last for years. But it's pretty easy to put back together. Drop it in, set it down, and snap it. There you go. One brand new looking meter. So I did both of them. So at least that'll, doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, it looks a lot nicer than it did. That's what counts. So this wheel had a little bit of crack in it, stuff. So I just reinforced it with some, you know, regular epoxy. Nothing fancy. So it's pretty solid all the way through. And drilled it out with a 5/16 or 3/8 bit, I'm sorry. So that it fits the shaft nice. No problem. This one is still setting up, but you can see it's solid all the way through now. So I'm going to have to drill that out later. But there's one washer here, and then there's one washer just right underneath. So 1/2 inch PVC pipe in there just to stiffen it up a little bit. So that'll work. It's going to have to. That's what it's going to get. Well, another thing, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I did put wire numbers on everything, so I don't have a problem finding out which ones go where. Okay, so they're not very sticky wire numbers, but I have them. So oh, this switch looks pretty nice. Black magic marker. Just so you know. It's nice to have a junk bin I can find some old parts in. Hopefully that's good enough to get some air blowing across it, I think we'll be alright. I'll pre-oil that just to keep it that way, and go from there. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Give it a shot. There we go. Pop riveted back. So there it is, pop riveted. There's the back. We'll get the heatsink in and start wiring it up. When I was putting on this heatsink, I noticed that insert nut that's in there was real close to this case, the outside case. This is a positive output lead. So you're talking a whole pile of amps that would have made this hot if it would have ever touched, maybe got bumped in or something. So I just put a little rubber boot there in behind it, and hopefully that takes care of it. It protects it from, if somebody bumps it in, it's not going to get damaged. That's the way it goes. Got to improve everything from the factory. That's life anymore. Well, these are a little bit old, worn out, so I'm completely doing them over. That one got a little hot. But I'm going to take them from here and put them in the other one, because the other one I can clean and shine up, and then I can solder the wire to it. That's my goal this time. See, the other side never been crimped, so I clean that out, solder it, and make a nice connection like this one. So it's all soldered in there, and handles on nice and solid. Should give me some good current flow Joe. So a little bit more to do. Okay, that's soldered down in there, crimped over, and then heat shrinked. It ain't coming out today, that's for sure. That ought to do it. Put the handles on. I can start putting some more together here. Well, we're getting a little bit of it done. Almost. A little bit more. Got to get them meters in. Okay, here's the inside of that. Hopefully you can see it in there. So that's everything put back together, hopefully correctly. We'll see, huh? There you go. New fan, new wires with heat shrink. Everything should be okay. Let's try it. Well, there's a picture of the front 2 meters that I redid. Left the front pretty much the way it was, so I didn't have to do a bunch of artwork, but looks good. I get the knobs on, then I need some more labeling on it, and I'll show you that then when it's done. Okay, I'm going to hook up this 12 volt battery. The meter should go up to 12 volts. It's a fully charged battery, so it goes right up to the end. So we're good to go there. That's 6 volt, that's 12 volt, so it goes off the scale when I hit 6 volt. So that's good. Let's check to see if it's charging. Sure hope it does after all this work, huh? Alright, give it a try here. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. It worked. Has to be this one. It did work. I had it working. Alright, troubleshooting time. Okay, I got one for you. You want to hear something really funny? I plugged this thing in to a heavy extension cord into my tool shed, and guess what? It's a switched outlet. Yeah, can you guess the rest of the sentence? Yeah. I didn't have it turned on. There was no power going into it. Okay, let's try this again. This is in the off position. We'll go up to 12 volt 2 amp. That's cool. Let's go 12 volt 10 amp. Watch the meter. She went up, come back down. It's a good battery, that's why. Let's go 50 amp. Oh yeah, 20, pulling 20. Okay, so yeah, it works. All right. Laugh it up. Joke's on me. This time. Well, there we go. Here's the final product. Hopefully you can see my stickers. Voltage tester, amps output, and your start boost. There we go. Done and ready to move on to the next project.